Okay, hello everyone. I'm here to just give you a very brief introduction to the module on health and social justice that you will be covering with me this semester. The aim of this module is to develop a critical understanding of ethical perspectives of public policy in relation to healthcare. And our goals really are for you at the end of this module to be able to demonstrate an understanding of the role of metaethics and how this is related to values, facts and normative claims that you will see often being made to justify different approaches to health and social justice in society. We will also enable you to be able to critically compare and contrast the major kind of theoretical approaches that are appropriate to the justification of healthcare policy in different contexts. And we'll be helping you to be able to defend and critique different public health policies and actually to investigate the ethical implications of public health decision making. So those are really the goals and what we're trying to achieve for you in this module. The module is composed of a number of units. The units themselves take place over a 2-week period. And we have built in a little bit of flexibility into this module, and we'll be able to adjust the times that we sort of go through the material, depending on how you're finding it and how you engage with the content. The first unit is an introduction to public health as social justice. So what we're really looking to do is explore why you need to actually think about social justice in relation to public health, and what you'll discover is the answer to that question has not always been very obvious, and it is kind of more recently that social justice has become central to the endeavour of public health and healthcare in general. In the second unit, what we're going to do is ethical. We're going to explore ethical frameworks for social justice. We're going to look at all of the different terms, and we're going to help you get an introduction to the different concepts. So, for example, a lot of this literature uses big words like utilitarianism, consequentialism, and things like that. So before we go into the detail, we need to actually sit down and map those terms and think about those. Now, I'll give you an introduction to each unit, so I'm not going to go into the detail of this now. But needless to say, we will spend 2 weeks actually just thinking about the different concepts, problems and ideas associated with social justice. And we've got a very specific activity for you to try in relation to that, something which we think you'll find is quite an interesting way to learn, and we hope that you enjoy that. After that, we're going to move on to the topic of capabilities development and social justice. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce the problem of social development worldwide and globally. And then we're going to get you to engage with a very specific approach to the issue of development, and that is called the human capabilities approach. So we will have a number of videos for you to watch and a number of kind of presentations, and then we'll be discussing those with you. After having covered the topic of global health and the whole problem of health in different societies, we will go on to think about some more substantive specific issues. So, for example, the whole problem of women in different societies and the way they're treated, and how that is relevant to the issue of development and the problem of social justice. So there are problems to do with gender equality, inequality, that vary quite dramatically across the world. After that, we will engage with disability and social justice. So we'll look at the problem of disablement and ablement in society, and we'll be discussing how you can adapt an ethical framework towards disability. And then finally, we're going to take a look at the ethical problems associated with health in relation to war, violence, and crime in society. So that's the basic content. So these are the topics which we want you to explore. And the issue is, what will we be doing next? In the first unit, what we'll be looking you to do is answer the question, why should we consider social justice in public health? The activities in this unit will involve reading, they'll involve online discussions. So discussion will be around questions such as, should public health be concerned with social justice? Some people would argue that it shouldn't, that public health should only be concerned about whether or not interventions work, whether or not healthcare is effective and efficient. And then the other question we want you to consider about is whether or not public health and considering social justice in society is actually a political enterprise. Now, in this unit, we will also hold a webinar towards the end of the unit, and this will be conducted through a Google Hangout, and we will be discussing in that Hangout the problem of inequalities in health and why public health needs to take consideration of the problem of social justice. You will also, in that webinar, have a chance to discuss the rest of the module and the other units, including what will follow in the unit after that. Now, it's very important, anytime I teach, what you'll find is that I build feedback and feed forward into the module from the outset. And what this means is that because a lot of this material is new, I'm very, very keen that we have a constant sort of feedback, feed forward in the course. And what do I mean by feed forward? Well, basically what we mean by that is that often you'll discover that we've got small activities at the start of each unit, and all we're doing there is checking how much you know and also mapping out for yourself how much you know at the start of each unit. And then you can look back at the end of the unit to see what else you've learned as you've gone through the unit. So the idea in Feed Forward is to map out where you're at, and then to enable that point of observation as something that you can look back on when you finish the topic. Feedback is another thing that we'll do. I would like to try and get constant feedback from you throughout the course, and the idea behind this is to check if the level and the quantity of the material that we're giving you is appropriate. And based on this feedback, the goal that we have is to adjust the course material as you go through it, so that your feedback counts and matters. I think you can get from this that I really want a kind of interactive approach to your learning. I don't want to have a situation where we only hear from you at the end of the module. We want to be able to take you through each unit and to be in a constant conversation. So I would encourage you to utilize these mechanisms to meet in the webinars and to be as open and honest as you can as we go through the material. The assessment for the module will take two forms, and this is very, very important. I am aware of some of the activities that you may have been doing elsewhere in the course, and I just want to point out that we have two forms of assessment. The formative assessment is actually really important, and this involves every time you make an entry in a blog or a forum, you should actually be practicing your writing skills. You should be practicing the ability to write about health and social justice. And in practicing, for example, by citing your references appropriately, by using the material in the right way, I will be giving you feedback on your writing as you go. So I'll be giving hints and tips on how you might improve your writing. So I'm not really looking for blogs that are kind of very descriptive. I want you to think of your blog entries as practice for essay writing, practice for filling in the content of assignments. And the aim of the writing in the blogs and the discussion forum is to enable me to give you a way to give you feedback on how you're writing, and to give you some hints and tips on how you might improve the way you're writing. So please use these opportunities. Don't see them as a chore, see them as a chance to show your skills, explore your skills in writing about the subject matter, and to give me an opportunity to actually give you some feedback. Then the final assessment will be a summative assessment, which will constitute 100% of the marks for the module, and this will be given in a 3,000 word assignment. Now, the assignment will be written on from a choice of topics, and these topics will of course be based on the work that you've been doing throughout the course. So we will cover, there'll be a question on each topic that you've covered. Okay, thank you.